you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal, and because you're dating down. Dating down.
You remember this video? We covered this a while back, and I think it's so interesting. I'm curious if you think this is one of our earlier videos.
We already covered it?
We already covered it, but I'm curious if you feel like something changed. So this one's a classic. If you guys haven't seen this one, it's good.
Finding love is not that easy, right? And it's especially hard in this economy. And guess what? Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. A study by Cornell University found that the country's declining marriage rate is due to the lack of financially eligible bachelors. Women are actually outpacing men with education, and this is changing the age-old mentality that men are the breadwinners. In turn, the gig or small gigs economy and lack of good jobs out there have left the ladies single and disgruntled. And researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, you know, a man who...
Dating down.
Remember this video?
Yeah, I remember that video.
You remember this video?
Yeah.
It was one of our first videos that went viral.
Yeah.
And I want to rewatch it just with a different lens years later. Just curious to see if anything that you think about it changes or if you have a deeper appreciation for what happens here.
Let's go.
But guys, women don't want to date down. They want to date up.
So how do y'all feel about the dating down theory? Do y'all think that that's something that's actually out there? And can it go for both men and women? So men can date down, but is that considered like normal because men are most likely the breadwinners than women are?
I think it's more normal when it comes to men dating down. But for women, I feel like they have a more higher standard for, you know, their partner or significant other. So they prefer somebody who can make more than them or the same amount because, you know, again, they going off of the, you know, the man is the breadwinner, yeah. But at the same time, the woman still has her own income. She also expects the man to, you know, be able to hold it down financially too. So I mean,
Nisha, how do you feel about dating down? Is that a real thing, or is that something that we just concocted up and just is like, yeah, this is it?
But I'm only here.
I'm only here.
I gotta laugh because oh my god, are y'all serious? I'm sorry. I'm here for the ladies and the fact that we're more educated and that we're making our own money because I'm sorry, I don't trust men. But I really don't. Like, I don't think you should rely on the men solely to take care of everything financially. I feel like it should be a combined effort and that both of you should be working. Now, if you want to be staying home and you don't want to work, that's different. That's a whole other thing. I would suggest you get a man who's not going to financially abuse that power. Well, you get what I mean. But no, I don't think it should matter whether or not you date down or not. Whatever you're into, whatever your preference is, that's your preference. Like, what are we talking about here?
I feel like that standard was created, you know, solely based on, you know, women mainly being the ones, the main income of the household, and then you got men who's munching off of them, living at home, doing nothing, and you know, not doing all the household chores, stuff like that. Yeah, not contributing, and just staying there and living off of her. I feel like that was basically how it was created when it comes to men or women being the breadwinners and stuff like that. That's mainly why women be like, I prefer somebody who makes my amount of income or higher because they don't want a man to live off of them and, you know, not make anything out of his life.
They don't want to play mommy to the basically,
man. Yeah.
I think that's what bothered me. Did I ever tell you about that time when I'm not going to say the store, but I was working at Utopia. We go Utopia. I was working at Utopia and I met this dude. He was really cute and he, you know, we obviously were vibing. But anyways, long story short, we started talking and as soon as he made it clear that he wanted to stay at home and take care of the kids while I works, like he didn't have no ambitions or anything. I was like, say nope, this is not gonna work for me.
And that was the turn off?
Yes, I can't do that. Like, I understand.
You picture you being the man and he being the woman.
It wasn't that. It was, you don't want to do nothing with your life. Like, you don't have no dream, like, as somebody who has an endless supply of dreams and things I want to accomplish, is strange to me to be with someone who doesn't.
Couldn't they say the same thing about us? if the roles were reversed, if we wanted to be stay-at-home moms and
Yeah, but
that's
they
all we
expect
wanted
that
to
of
do.
women, though.
They
They don't really
create-
expect that of men.
If it was a world where they
Again,
didn't
society
create that
have it.
narrative,
Right.
yes, but they created that narrative.
Exactly.
So no,
Yeah.
you created that
I
norm.
mean, that was from the beginning. I mean, that was how it was. Women was always the stay-at-home moms. You know, before we could even get an actual education and stuff like that, we were at home taking care of the kids in the household, while the man was outside making all the money and, you know, paying the bills and stuff like that.
And like I said in our last video, I also talked about how in today's world, women have to work as well too.
Yeah, they
it has
have.
to be two different incomes.
The
coming
cost
in.
of living is
unless,
yeah.
like I said, unless you obviously vet someone who has a lot of money,
Right,
and then you
yeah.
don't have to worry about that. But normal, everyday women like us, if we were to get into a relationship today, we will literally have to have someone, and then we decide to get married and we move in together. I think if we both have these jobs that are like not really making that much, but together it makes enough to where we
Right.
can pay all the things off, then yeah, that's something that we would have to do. We can't, have the luxury of staying at home
Right.
if we want to. But I think us, we wouldn't even want to stay at home.
Right,
honestly.
I
Like,
wouldn't
If
either.
we had kids,
I would go
if we got
stir
kids
crazy.
and got married, we would have ambitions. We would want to do other things other than
Yeah.
being that. And it's not like not to knock down all the women who prefer to stay at home, things like that. But ultimately, it wouldn't be right.
Right. I'm not that. I mean,
That is
don't
not
get me
for
wrong.
me.
I can, clean and stuff like that, cook and all that, but I wouldn't want to do that 24/7.
All the time.
All the time. You know?
But if it's like an equal thing where he comes in and he helps and he cleans, so it's not just a
one-sided thing.
Yeah, a one-sided
Yeah.
thing. Especially if both of y'all are working, so it's like more relying on the women to take care of home, take care of the husband, take care of the kids, and also take care of her career. That could be a bit draining.
Right.
But if things were equal, so if the dad decides to come in and he cooks food here and there and he cleans up here and there, then yeah, that's what I consider a 100 and 100
100,
relationship.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Dating.
I
Who
say,
wrote that?
I mean, I say all that.
Jeez.
Disgruntled.
Dating.
This is just the reality of it. So women, we're more educated now, and I think that we're furthering our education. So with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job, really career driven. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So, okay.
Go ahead, love doctor.
All right. So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal and because you're dating down.
Down.
now.
I hate.
Dating down.
That, yeah.
What is that about? It wasn't called dating down.
Right.
Yeah.
He's about to look at the woman's reaction when he's like, I don't like that.
I don't like that. No, you don't like that. But that's what it is. You want it all.
Yeah, she definitely was like,
But that's that face like,
Listen.
what? Let me cut you off right there. Let me cut you off right there.
I don't know what it is
Sir.
about this battle between black men and black women.
Yeah.
Right, we're
Because
supposed
if
to be
you
on the same
notice,
team.
the black men and the black women are going head to head.
They
with
are.
each
They
other.
really are.
But it's like, for some reason with black women, but when you think about it, I understand when it comes to black women because literally we take in a lot. And it's not to say that other races of women don't take in a lot, but we definitely take in a lot when it comes to taking care of our kids, especially if a man walks out and decides that he doesn't want to take care of the kids. So we are actually put in a position to be more dominant in the aspects of taking care of our home, taking care of our kids, and we literally sometimes we do have to unlearn that when we do get into a relationship because that doesn't
It's
work
okay for us to
anymore when you get
take
into a
some of the burden
relationship.
off of us. and
Right,
then
it's okay
put it into the other
to
person.
be able to say, okay, I can breathe because,
Right.
and this is why it's important to make sure that whoever you're going after a person who is really going to help you mentally, and more than anything, definitely mentally, because at the end of the day, you're with each other, you're talking to each other, you're dealing with each other, and that can be a mental strain. So if one person is not pulling their strings and doing what maybe they didn't say what they were going to do, but this is why it's important to get all the information before you jump in, especially before you have a kid by somebody, because that's
Right.
very, very important.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but all my friends at work and, my past friends from high school, they all have babies and stuff like that. But then you always see the same routine when it comes to their baby daddies, them getting into it. But I'm like, did you know this before? You linked up and then you had, conceived this kid or something like that? I mean, did y'all not get it all out? You know, talk this through before it happened. But
I feel like we live in this, and maybe it was always like that, but maybe I wasn't used to it. But I feel like nowadays nobody really pays attention to any of that.
Right.
They get into the sex first, and then everything else becomes second. So if you're talking about, so if I were to have kids, how would you feel about that? Don't get me wrong, a person can change their mind. They can be like 1 minute and be like, yeah, I think it would be great, and then later on switch. But I'm saying there's always telltale signs in that, and I feel like if people would talk to each other first before they jump into these. Now, don't get me wrong, there are, exceptions to the rules. There are some people that jump and have sex first, and then they live out their lives together forever, and then that's just how it is. But that's not going to be the story for every person.
Right, everybody's story
So
is
you
different.
definitely have to get into a conversation with these people. You have to ask them, hey, what do you like? What do you don't like? And hopefully they're being honest with you when they do. But like I said, you can always tell a certain extent of how truthful they're being with you, and what's a lie and what's not a lie. Most definitely if you were raised by people who can understand and identify that type of stuff and teach it to you. Right. So that's how you become an adult, and you'll be able to be like, okay, I can identify that this person is saying this, but they're not really doing that. And you can be able to walk away without feeling that guilt of, oh, I should never did this, I should have stayed, and blah, 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 blah. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, definitely, you gotta talk to people first.
Listen, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how many baby daddy, baby mama stories I hear all the time. But I'm like, I mean, you kind of knew what you was getting into, before you had the kid or whatever. So it was telltale signs in it. But it's crazy.
People think sex first, and then they think everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Fisha, how you feel about it?
Well, apparently I talk too much because I want to know everything. I'm grilling the hell out of you. Listen, if we're gonna be in any kind of relationship, I don't care if it's just sexual. Even if then, I still need to know a lot of things about you because I'm gonna be spending a lot of time with you. So I need to know, 1, that I'm always safe with you, 2, that we're on the same page, and 3, that I'm not gonna want to choke you out every 5 seconds. Cause no, I'm not doing this. I'm not spending time with or being in a relationship with somebody who I can't stand. No, we're not entertaining that. I'm done. No.
Alright, so thank y'all so much for watching
Brown Skin Sisters.
Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Check out other recent videos. And yeah, we cut this video short because we didn't really want to watch the whole thing.
We talk too much too, so.
Yeah, we talk a lot. So the link to this actual video will be down in the description box if you guys want to check the full thing out. I'm pretty sure if y'all here, y'all probably already watched that video. But yeah, we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Okay.